Okay, now I'm going to copy my photos to the computer, then open up Final Cut. It doesn't really matter what order you do that in, but you will need your photos and Final Cut. So I have an iPhone and I have my photos open and my photos are selected on my phone. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get a new Finder window open. If you don't have a Finder window, just click this guy right here. As long as it says Finder, you can also come up in here and click New Finder Window or learn the shortcut command. But if you just need it, just click and a new window will open. And then you go to, on the top left, go to AirDrop and make sure that you can be discovered. And now on your phone, you're going to have to look for your computer. So I'm going to choose Everyone because you want your phone to be able to discover this computer. Then, still on your Mac, go to the Apple menu and go to About This Mac. And you will need to look at this serial number right here and find it in the list of all the computers that show up. Now, right now, I'm here in the morning and none of the computers are on, so they're not showing up. But you would look for yours. Now, mine happens to be named already. My computer. So when I turn my AirDrop on, well, when I look at it on my phone, it'll show for me. But you will look for this on your phone under AirDrop. Okay. So I'm on my phone now and I've got my picture selected. I'm going to tap on the share button, bottom left corner of my phone. And I'm going to tap the AirDrop icon and you'll see now that I get my iPhone shows up and the photos are being delivered and we just need to wait for that. And I'll speed this part up. Okay, so this part took about, a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes on my computer, but I had 330 photos. Now they are on my computer, but they're in my downloads. I can access downloads right here, or if I ended up closing this window, my downloads are right here. The best bet is to click on this and go to where it says Open in Finder. You don't want to take all of these here, so go to the very bottom of this list. Yours may show up in different ways. Let me cover something important. Anyway, on this here, this is how I have mine set up. I right-click on this Downloads folder, right-click, and I come up and I choose this to be List, Display as Folder. This other part, I don't really care. But that helps. Just this list and display as folder. So anyway, now when I normal click, I can see them all in a list and it's not this weird looking fan thing. Anyway, so I'm going to open in Finder and there's all my photos. And you'll notice they are, let's see, I'm not sure what that one is. They're displayed by date. I'm going to click by name because all of these got named sequentially on my phone, and I'm going to make sure that I have them. So from the lowest one is 536 all the way to, let's see, I'm going to shift click the last one, 867. Yeah, 332 photos. Okay, so all right, now that they're here, I'm going to leave this folder alone. I'm going to open up Final Cut and create a new library. Now, you may have other libraries open. It's pretty important that you keep your work separate. So, first of all, create a new library. Go to the File menu, New, Library, and name this something that you'll remember. Stop motion is a good one. Now this library could contain multiple projects, but right now anything I do related to stop motion is going to be here. I've already done one, that's why you see it there. But anyway, I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to close these others. So flying dogs, close that one. I'm going to click on the actual library, weekly birthdays, right click, close. Announcements on the library, right click and close. Now this is the event. This event is like a folder. It got automatically created, and that's where I want to put my videos or my photos. So I'm going to select this so I see this import media. I'm going to come back and click on the Finder guy, and it shows my downloads. If it doesn't show downloads, get your downloads folder showing, and arrange your windows so you can see your photos and this part right here. And I'm going to select the first photo, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to shift click on the last photo. And once I've got them all selected, and I know I've got 332, I'm going to click on one and click and hold down and drag over here. And you'll see I'm dragging 332 right on top of this event. And now if that doesn't show up, make sure you've got this one chosen, and then those photos will upload right there. Or, I'm sorry, they will import into Final Cut. Now mine, I realized this, that somehow my phone was sideways. Even though I was taking the shots horizontally, sometimes that happens where you don't, your phone doesn't know you turned it sideways. Maybe it was a subtle change or whatever. So right now, let's see, at the top of my list, I want to make sure, well, all right, so I need to take care of that. But also, I did this to where I want my photos playing backwards, because I did some things where, I'm going to go down, I'll hit the down arrow and you'll see. I had the garbage here, but I took pictures, but I want to play them back in reverse order. So I want to make sure that the picture I want to start with is at the top. So I'm sorting by name, and I've got the arrow going down, so it's going down this way. I think normal direction is like this. This would be the first photo. This is how I actually shot the photo, but this is not the order I want it to play back in. So I'm going to click this so they're going in reverse order, and I'll select the new one. Oh, I'm not ready. I got to create a new project. So I'm going to create a new project. I'm just going to choose, and you probably should too, 720p, 1280 by 720, and change it to 30p for now. We're not doing a motion picture, so 30p is good. This is how many frames per second our project will be. If you're doing a motion picture, you want the big cinematic large screen feel, do 24, but 30 is good for now. And keep that number in mind, 30. And let's see. You know what? What the heck? I'm going to make mine 1080. 1080p, not I. Never do I. Nothing with an I. And I'm going to keep it 30p. I'm going to hit OK. Oh, I should have named that project. That's okay. I can name it right here. And I'm going to call it, I did this with Starburst, so I'm going to double click that. Or let's see, right click, whatever. And name it Starbursts Unhinged. I don't know. Something like that. That's my project. And I'm going to select the first one, which in my case is the last photo I took. You choose. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to shift click on the last one. So I have all 332 in, and then I'm going to click and drag on one of them all the way down. Now, hang on a sec. Yours may look like this. Let me show you. Yours may look like that. And you may not see the names. What I did is I clicked on this icon to get them sorted by list. So that may help, and it's easier to select them. Anyway, so I've got the highest number here and the lowest number down there. That's only because I want these to play in reverse order. And I will fix this vertical thing in a second. If you didn't shoot yours vertically, if yours were great, didn't have any mistakes with that, then you're fine. Skip this part. I'm going to click these and drag them down here and just let go. And it might take a while, and you'll see that these dots will disappear as my video renders in the background. Those dots are just disappearing. But right now, they're vertical, and each photo, if you'll see on my playhead, watch this time code right here. As I scrub this, one photo takes up 10 seconds. And I'm going to turn this snapping back on because I want it to snap in between my positions. So like right here, from here, it's at the 2-minute mark. And there's 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I want each of these to last about 2 or 3 frames. So I need to select all of these. The easiest way is just to click inside here in the gray area and use the shortcut select all, which is Command A. Keyboard shortcut. Select all. It selects all of them, and they're all selected. If I slide clear over here to the very end, they're all selected. Oh, and I want to double check that these are in the order I want them. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do that shortcut one more time. Command A. And then I'm going to shrink them to not be 10 seconds long, but I want them to be 2 frames long. So with them all selected, I'm going to come up here into this time code, double click anywhere on these numbers. And now it says my whole thing is 55 minutes long. I don't want it that. I'm going to type in just a 2. I want each picture to last 2 frames. So I hit a 2 and I press the enter or return key, and it shrinks them all down. Now they're there. You just can't see them. They're all individual. You can see I've got individual pictures here. But the shortcut Shift Z will expand them to fit. And if I play them back, you'll see it's rendering in the background. It's going to play smooth all the way up to these dots, and then it's going to start getting jerky. But let me go to the beginning. I'm going to press the home key on my keyboard, jumps to the beginning, and the space bar, and just watch it a little bit. That's kind of what I'm wanting. Now right here it's going to get jerky because it's not fully rendered. And it looks like I need to rotate this 90 degrees to the left, counterclockwise. So I'm going to hit the space bar. I'm going to select all of these photos, drag a box over them all, or if that doesn't help, do Command A, select them all, and I'm going to rotate these. So right here in this area, click this down arrow and choose Transform. And you're going to transform all of these pictures. It takes a while because 330 pictures is a lot. Okay, so now this little handle here is your rotation handle. And I'm just going to click it and drag it up. And it may be hard to get it exactly straight. You can look at the reading right here, and it'll tell you, watch the degrees up here, and it'll tell you what it's rotated. But if you hold the Shift key down while you're doing this, it'll stop at 45 degrees. All right? I mean, every 45 degrees it'll stop. But I want it to be like this. All right, then I let go. And then I need to scale it. So don't hold any modifier keys down. Don't hold any keyboard down on the computer. But then click a corner and drag it out until it hits the edges of the black. And I took my photos in 16:9 aspect ratio. Yours may be more square. So just this is the edge of your viewing area, that black area. In fact, let me show you. If I zoom here to 50, you'll see if I go beyond that black area, no one will see what I've got. So here, it will even snap to that line right there. So that will perfectly fit my viewing area. I can turn this part off now. Click that so it turns that off. I can change this to be fit now. I don't need to see my inspector. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Right here. Turn inspector off. And then I can make my window a little bit bigger, stretching this down. And it's rendered about halfway through. So I'm going to play. I'm going to click just so I don't accidentally delete things. I'm going to go to the very beginning and hit the space bar. Now each picture is 2 frames long in a 30 frames per second video. So that means I've got 15 pictures in 1 second. So we'll just double check this. If I hit the down arrow, there's 1 frame, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 15 pictures I showed, and I'm at 1 second. So 15 pictures went by because each picture is 2 frames. 2 times 15 is 30, and we're at 30 frames per second on our project. Okay, that's some simple, easy math, but I want to play this thing back. I want to see what it looks like. So I'm just going to go to home, hit spacebar. until I bumped the camera a few times. Oh, see, and it started playing real jerky right around here. So it's smooth up until the playhead gets to here. Then watch right around here. Right about now it's going to start getting jerky and not play everything. Oh, and I've got my hand in there. All right, so that's a real thing that happens. So I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to try to find where my hand was. I'm going to put my cursor in here, and I'm just going to hit the down arrow, and it just goes to each picture. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to back up arrow, hit up arrow. There's my hand. So I'm going to zoom in somewhere around here, one of those pictures, and I'm going to zoom in with this tool right here. I can just zoom in and see, oops, that's too big. And I'm going to scroll this way, and I'm going to find where my hand is. Okay, it looks like this one right here is the one, and I'm just going to hit delete, the backspace. All right, so now zoom to fit, which is Shift Z, hit home. I'm going to play it one more time. This was really fun to do, by the way. And didn't take me long. I think it took me about 30 minutes to take all these photos. And the trick is you got to have your camera still. Now you'll notice sometimes, watch the edges. Like right now my camera's not moving, but you'll see a spot. And I'll pause the video right when I notice it. And I was having to very lightly, right there. Okay, I'm going to go back. Watch right there. You see it jump? Right about there, it jumps. And I'll turn the snapping off here. And you'll see as I go right there. Anyway, it just kind of takes away the idea that we're observing something magical happening when you see the camera move. And if the camera bumps, then, yeah. We might do another one of these where I grade you more strictly, but yeah, this is good. All right. Anyway, so now I've got it in. Now, if I wanted, now this is 2 frames per second in a 30 frames per second project, so 15 pictures equals 1 second. But I want to try slowing it down or speeding it up. So I'm going to change them to 3 frames long. So I'll double click that, and I'm going to type in a 3. And these will get bigger because they will now be 3. It'll be 10 pictures to take up 1 second instead of 15 taking up 1 second. So I type in the 3 and I hit enter, and they get a little bit bigger. I'm going to Shift Z to make them all fit. I'm going to go back to my home and hit play, and it should be a little bit slower. But it's a little more jerky. So I liked it at 2. I'm going to show you. So 2 is going to be my favorite, but I'm going to show you, and that was 3. I'm going to show you at 1. If I select all of them and I set them to 1 frame per second, that means 30 pictures in 1 second. And I'm going to go to the home and hit play. First, I don't like them having them all selected. And hit play. This will go really fast. It's going to do all the same action in about 10 seconds. It's a little smoother, but it happens a lot faster. Okay, so I'm going to change them all back to what I liked, 2 frames per second, meaning 15 pictures for 1 second. And I'm going to type a 2 and hit enter, and that's what I like. And now I'm going to export the whole thing. There's no saving needed. I'm going to come up to the share menu, and I'm going to export mine as 1080p because that's what my project was, and that's kind of what I want. It says MP4 right here. If it doesn't say MP4, click on settings, change the format to computer, and make sure your codec is H.264. and resolution should be the same. Action's going to be save only. Don't worry about chapter markers. Hit next, and it'll try to give you the same title that your project was. So you remember my project was called Unhinged, and that's going to be good enough. And I'm going to hit save, and it will take a while. You look right here, this top area, this little circle. This will give you an indicator of how long it's going to take to be done. Wait for this whole thing. The sharing is exporting right now. Okay, it's exported now. I should get a message here somewhere, top corner of my screen. It is now saved on my computer. I don't need Final Cut open anymore. I'm going to close Final Cut. I'm going to quit. No need to save. Final Cut saves everything on its own. I don't need this open anymore. And my video is right here. Oh no, that's my screen recording of what I'm doing right now. But this is my Starburst Unhinged. Now I can right click it and it will open QuickTime. You, on the other hand, may not. I would change something as a side note on your computer. Right click on this, get info, and in this properties window right here, if it does not say open with QuickTime Player default, if it says anything else, change it to open with QuickTime Player and hit change all. You might get a message like that. That's okay. Now, when you double click it, QuickTime Player will open instead of some other funky whatever app opening. QuickTime's actually the better one to play it with. And then you hit play, and that's your video. Now, I probably would go back and add music to this because it's a lot more fun if you add music. But anyway, that's what you're going to take and upload into Canvas. Made me want to do another one. I've got plans for a bigger one. And I see spots that I wanted to maybe make it slower, smoother, like less movement per picture. If I go frame by frame, you can see each picture. Oh, it takes me 2 taps on the right arrow to go because it's 2 frames per second. So, 2 photos per frame. No, 2 frames per photo. There you go. So if I go 1 right arrow, I go click, 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 click. There you go. And I made sure I locked my exposure down. Anyway, all right. That's that.